For one of my looks for Kilby, this is kind of the inspo at Tate McRae's concert, and she's wearing like an olive green bra and micro short. Just finished making my heels with my green leather, and I have quite a bit of green leather. It's not actual leather, it's like a pleather. It's not real leather, but I had that left over and I thought, literally, I'm never gonna use this for anything else. What else better to use it for than a festival look? I still can't decide if I want to do fully connected in the front or if I want to do micro short and like longer bodice, where when it has like the stripes on it, the stripes are backed by a nude tulle, so that way you can kind of like see through to the body a little bit. It's not directly on top of the leather. That is also going to help me because once I cut shorts out of this, I'm not going to have very much left, and so that's going to help me because then I can kind of piece it as I go, and it doesn't have to be full solid pieces for the bodice and the short. I'm going to get started on the shorts first. They're going to be itty bitty little micro shorts. This does have a little bit of stretch to it, but it's not that much stretch, so I am going to pattern it out of muslin, which doesn't have any stretch, because I would rather pattern for no stretch and then have a little bit and be able to take in than to pattern for having stretch and then have less than I anticipate, if that makes sense. I'm gonna get started on the shorts first. I have a pants pattern that I'm gonna use as kind of a basis. I based these off of my Levi 501s. I didn't undo my Levi 501s, so they're not gonna be exactly the same, but then in that envelope, I also keep a muslin draft. I can try this on and see what this pattern actually looks like in muslin on my body, but it's kind of nice and handy to have. And this is a whole full length pants pattern. I'm just gonna measure down and decide how long I'd like to transfer my pattern over for my shorts, so I can try them in muslin and then kind of like fold them up on the leg and fold them down on the waist and figure out what I want to do there. Now I have all 4 pieces of my shorts cut out. I'm just gonna put them together. I'm gonna leave the back center seam open because this is where I would likely put my zipper. I don't like a front zipper, especially if it's gonna be a disconnected bottom piece and top piece. So this is how the mock-ups look. They're a little bit snug, but as mentioned previously, fabric has like a little bit of stretch. And so I'm not gonna worry that it's a little bit tight because I would rather it be too tight in the muslin draft. So that means it'll probably be okay. I think I'm gonna do like a longer top that ends like here. So I think I want this to be pretty low-waisted. These are the pieces that I cut haphazardly on my body. So I'm gonna clean it up, transfer it to the other leg, put them back together, see how I like it. I think I'll end up lowering the waistline on these, but I think I want to make the top first. So I'm going to leave these as is for now. And I think I'll want to clean this up and make this probably curve to me a little bit more, or bring it up on the cheek more. Who knows? Okay, well, this is the basic pattern. This needs to come in like crazy. And it is hard to determine how long I'm going to want this without having the shorts on. Something's got to give. Honestly, the look I'm going for, I kind of want this to be way up here. I like that height on the waist, and I think this needs to come up. I want it to elongate, and I can't tell if it would do that better if this was longer. In the meantime, we can do some style lines. I have what I've drawn out on body. I want to start to get an idea of how I'm going to pattern this. I've drawn on all the spots that are going to be excess material. So I'm going to start by cutting those out and sort of start cutting my shapes to add seam allowance and whatnot to them. And we're going to start there. I'm a little lost in the sauce right now. This is what you call responsible journalism. We're marking where each piece lines up with the other. I have a 1, a 1, a 2, a 2, a 3, a 3, and we're going to do that the whole way through. Otherwise, this is going to be way too confusing to put back together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces. 20 pieces for the bodice. That's crazy. All right, well, if you can believe it, that's our bodice. Crazy. Back to the shorts. I just patched on a little piece of muslin because I want to add just a slight bit more bum coverage. I want the side seam to stay the same, but it was just my booty cheek was hanging out the bottom. I want to add just a little bit more. I can always take it off later if I want to, but I would rather have it patterned in. Green stripes, green stripes, green. There we go. Oh boy, that's a lot of pieces to cut out. 10 pieces in total for the shorts, and then the top has 20 pieces in total. This was a rough draft, so I am unfortunately gonna take the time to go through and make a new muslin pattern with all of these pieces. I'm gonna be patterning them all on paper and then recutting them in muslin and sewing them together. So it's gonna take a sec, and I'm tired. Let's do it. I have all of my pieces cut, and I'm gonna make it out of muslin, so I'm gonna cut all of them out of muslin real quick. And this is the muslin puzzle that we have to put back together. So it's really just a question of order of events. So I think I'm gonna sew these 3 seams together first so I can have this block done. And then I can add this block to it, and then I can start piecing together this and this. I got the top mocked up in muslin, and it needs some edits for sure. Tried it on last night, and it is much too big in the bust. Before I make edits on that, I'm gonna put the shorts together and just see if I like them together as a vibe before I go in and make a bunch of edits. All right, this is the shorts. So what I did was, this was initially front short and back short, and it had a side seam. I just undid the crotch seams and it laid pretty flat. And so instead of making a front and a back, I want the design to be continuous through the side. So I split it up. So this is all one side of the short. This is the muslin mock-up. I like it. Obviously this needs to change. I love the shorts. The stripes would go here and they would also go here. And I'm liking the length. I added a little bit of coverage here. The only thing I'm wondering about the shorts is whether or not I kind of taper this so it's tight. I'm kind of thinking no. Hard to say. Love when things work out. I lowered the neckline a little bit. I'm gonna mark that, change it over to my pattern. It's not gonna be that big of a pattern change. Thank goodness. I also think on this panel down here, I'm gonna add another style line, a seam line right here and right here, just because, well, a lot of the bodice is gonna be green. Like I'm only gonna have stripes where I've drawn the stripes, which I don't even know if you can see in the camera. But I think that having a couple more style lines on the plain green will help. I also wanna do some embroidery or vinyl or like screen print or something on the center section. But if I can't get my embroidery machine to work, we're not gonna do that. I just wanna take this in a titch, but it just looks a little bit more intentional. I'm gonna do a little dart in this corner panel and I'll transfer it to my pattern. I have 5 pattern pieces to change, but that's out of 30. It's a lot of pattern pieces. That does look better. So on the shorts, we're only changing 1 pattern piece. That's a great sign. The muslin drafts aren't exactly perfect, but I have everything pinned that I wanna change and the changes are really quite minimal. So I think I'm going to move forward with constructing. What I need to decide is, do I have enough green leather to make what I wanna make? And do I wanna do cutouts with white stripes? So I have this nude mesh that I'm thinking, and I was thinking that for all the striped sections, the striped section would be nude mesh with stripes over it. So that way it's like little peekaboos. Okay, I went to Hobby Lobby. I grabbed an invisible zipper for the back of the shorts, invisible zipper for the back of the top. Bottom of the zipper would have to go at the top because I can fit my head through the neck hole, I think, and it would have to zip down. Or I also got a separating zipper, but it's pretty chunky, and if I want these to look the same, I'll do them both invisible. I think both of these are an option. I'm gonna see how the invisible zipper goes on the shorts. If the leather is difficult to work with, I'm just gonna do the chunkier zipper. But if I can't manage it, I'll do a matching zipper so that it looks more seamless. I'm just gonna change my pattern piece for the bottom section here. Take this in, I'm gonna just splice it into this point. It's gonna be super simple. After I do that, I'm gonna create my striped pieces. What I really wanted was bias tape that was 3/8 inch. And of course they had 1/4 inch and they have 1/2 inch. And I would rather go with the thicker one because the thin one left too much room. I was really worried I was gonna run out of bias tape, so I bought so much. 3 of these are 1/4 inch, 5 of these are 1/2 inch. And they're kind of 2 different colors, so that's also weird. And the color difference between the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch, this is like a little bit more ivory, which I like better, but I think I'm gonna do the 1/4 inch, open it up, press it open a little bit more and do that. Another reason I would rather do 3/8 inch than 1/2 inch is because my cover stitch machine, it sews just shy of 3/8 of an inch. And so it would just look so much better than it sewing on the 1/2 inch and being so far narrower than the strip. Like I want it to hit the edges of my bias binding as perfectly as possible. We're gonna do this first and then I'm gonna start making my stripe pieces. I think I want to lengthen that a little. That adjustment's been made. I'm gonna try my stripes. We'll just see how it goes. I'm making sure that I know which way this pattern is going in my shorts because I don't actually want it to stretch that much circumference. Let's see if we can iron this to be the width that we want it to be. Before we get ahead of ourselves, I'm gonna test it on the cover stitch machine. A little slippery, kind of hard to keep it on. I think it's working. My needles are at a distance where the stitches are right on the edge. If I did a 1/2 inch binding, it would be way easier to keep it on track, but it just wouldn't look as clean. That is pretty freaking good. I missed a spot up here, and that was just my learning curve, I think. That looks so clean. All right, I think it's worth it. I'm starting out cutting out the leather for my pants pieces because if I don't have enough for my top, I could always add more illusion mesh elements, but I am not adding more illusion mesh elements to the pants. I'm hopeful that I can get everything I need for the shorts out of one of these larger pieces. I think that's pretty optimistic of me, but we're gonna try it. I have to be a little bit conscious of grain. I got all the pants pieces out of one piece of fabric. It's great. It already looks so good. I'm so excited about that. I'm just gonna put it together now. This is just the first of it put together. I think it looks so good. I'm not mad at this. Like if I was in a rush, which I should be because it's in a week, but I'm not. We're gonna be relying heavily on order of operations here. This is like one solid piece that we need to connect to this piece next. However, we need to first finish these stripes before we do this one. You know what I mean? I was gonna push this back, but there's absolutely no point in that. I'm just gonna cover stitch my stripe over this seam allowance so that just means that I need to trim down this seam allowance because as of right now, it would show. Putting these stripes on is an arduous task. So now I'm gonna put my leg holes together and then I'm gonna sew the crotch together. I need to decide if I'm gonna flip this edge up and finish it or if I'm gonna leave it a raw edge. Don't wanna put a binding on this necessarily, and I don't really like the way that it looks. I flip that under. The leather's not gonna fray. This bias binding will fray, but I can fray check that. I'm considering leaving both the top and the leg edge raw, so we'll see. I have the shorts completely put together and I'm thrilled with how they turned out. Still haven't decided whether I'm gonna leave a raw edge or flip it under, and so I'm gonna wait to do that and wait to place the zipper until I have the top done. All right, we're at the point where assembling the top now becomes the puzzle. I've assembled as many pieces together as I can. This piece is good to go, ready to put the stripes on. And then like once we have all three of these stripes, then we can connect this piece because all those stripes need to be hidden in this seam allowance, if that makes sense. So now we're at a point where it's like A has to come before B, before C, before D. And so it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. And as I go, I'm gonna be trying to do the same on the left side and the right side so that I don't have to think it all through more than once. Here where this conjoins, these stripes are gonna be coming here and run into this stripe. And so I have to decide, like, am I gonna do these three and then do this final one so that this one covers the ends of these? Or am I gonna have this last one running along the edge here, or am I gonna leave this edge exposed? I think to keep things consistent with the shorts, because I have some raw edges open on the shorts, I'm not going to continue this line over here, which is great because that also makes it so I don't have to think so hard about construction. My guess is that by the time I'm done with this, I'll have made like 22 yards of 3/8 inch bias tape. And you know what? They probably sell 3/8 bias tape, but would it get here in a week? Probably not. So we make our own. It was a double fold one, and so I opened it up, opened one side further, and then I'm just tri-folding it. Just in case you're wondering how long it took to get from there to this with all the stripes on and everything, 2.5 hours. Labor of love, definitely. And I haven't even started piecing together. So I have a couple of stripes that are still missing. This can definitely be attached. This can definitely be attached, and then I can put the binding on here. These connect to here, and then this connects separate. And so this is going to be an interesting juncture because this covers the seam line and this covers the seam line. And so I have to decide how I'm doing that. I think when I put these seams together, I'm just going to kind of have to insert the binding into, like if when I'm doing this binding, I'm just going to have to insert the binding into this seam, sew this together, and then top stitch that down. But how do I do that and do this one? You know what I mean? And I want to embroider on this before I put this piece together, but I have to fix my embroidery machine first. Order of operations for everything. I don't even know if I can embroider on leather. It's not real leather though, it's fabric. Just don't want to fix the machine just to find out that I can't embroider on it, you know? But it needs something. It's gonna look wacky until it doesn't. I don't have a machine that has a walking foot at the moment. I do have a machine that has the walking foot capability, but that machine is out of service at the moment. The feed dogs will feed the leather through on the bottom really easily, so it's really easy to connect the leather to the illusion, but it's hard to connect leather to leather because it doesn't feed them through at the same rate, and so it's like pulling one of them. It ends up so wacky. I've seen some people put tape on the bottom of their walking foot, like a blue painter's tape. I don't have one right now, but what I have been doing that's been working super well is I've been using my tissue paper and I'm just laying it back a little bit so I can still see where I need to guide my seam, but it's been working awesome. It helps the top to slide through at the same rate as the bottom, and then afterwards I can just peel it off. It's not the tools you have, it's how you use them. These have also been really helpful for pinning my leather together because it doesn't like to be pinned, so I've stopped trying. That's pretty good. It's not the perfect embroidery, but my machine is so temperamental, so I don't know that I dare try it again. Even though it's imperfect, I'll think on it. It looks super sick. This with the stripes all around it. Oh my gosh, that's gonna look so good. I can't wait. Also, jump scare, because I got my hair done and I don't have eyebrows anymore. If I had the time to redo this, I would. However, it is Tuesday at 9 p.m. I have to finish this and I have a whole nother outfit to make, as well as making a piece of jewelry and doing my nails. So I think I'm gonna leave it. It looks good enough, and I hate saying that because I need to start assembling the top in a final way. This is gonna be the centerpiece, and I already had the centerpiece cut out, embroidered directly on this. If it wasn't gonna work, I wanted to have a couple different places, different options, but it is gonna work. So now I am lucky and I get to line this up in the dead center before I cut it out, which is super nice. You know what I just considered? I don't really have to be like sewing this together and then top stitching. I could just be top stitching it on. It's not 3 layers all folded up. I could just be laying it on because this isn't gonna fray. Duh. Okay, well, plans change, people change, you know what I mean? Like instead of doing what I did here, which I'll probably just leave this because it's already done, And I could just lay this over the top and stitch. Why haven't I been doing that? Dumb. Way less bulky. I might undo this and do that here. Oh man, I hate when I do dumb things, but I love when I realize I did a dumb thing and I can do it different. I'm considering doing what we just talked about, where instead of sewing it right sides together, I just lay it on top of one another. It's just hurting my head a little bit, and I think it's just because it's late and I've been problem solving all day. So I think that this is gonna work. I also can't decide if I want black top stitching or white top stitching, and I don't want like the thin white top stitching next to the thick. Anyway, I'm gonna try it and see if it walks it through, because if it doesn't walk it through, what I'm probably gonna do tomorrow morning is go get a double-sided stick tape that I can lay here place so that I don't have to worry about making sure that my layers aren't getting moved around. So let me test this and I'm gonna get back to you. And I'm gonna cut two of the exact same piece to see if it pushes one layer through more than the other. The good news is the cover stitch machine works pretty well. It does stretch the leather a little bit as it goes, but it's not bad. This is what the white top stitching looks like versus black top stitching versus two lines of top stitching. And I just can't decide. The black or green or whatever, you wouldn't see as many of the cut lines. You would just see like dimension from the layering. But do we want to emphasize all of the lines? Hard to say. This is an angle where you can see everything. This is the white top stitching. This is the dark matching top stitching. Issue being the bottoms, you would only see it on the crotch seam because that's the only seam that isn't divided here. Here you would see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. That's fine if we decide to do that. I just don't know if we want to do that. Psych, I didn't go to sleep. Because of how I'm gonna do this now where I lay it on top, I can put these on now. So it helps my construction with this corner, because this was gonna be a lot of layering. It's gonna help me a lot now because now I can sew this on, do my last stripe, and then all of this leather is just gonna come in and kind of meet up against it. It's gonna be way easier now. I genuinely don't know if I've ever made anything this clean in my whole life, from the outside and from the inside. I can't wait to see it on. On this side, I unpicked this and laid it on top. I just think it's gonna look so much cleaner, way less bulky. Like I said, I'm gonna leave this piece as is because it's already done. I'm gonna switch my cover stitch machine over to black, and I think I'm gonna trim away the seam allowance on these pieces. This is also gonna make it a lot easier to put the zipper on, because then there's only 2 layers stacked up here rather than 3, and then folding the 3 back would have been a nightmare. So this kind of works out for everything. The only thing I am concerned about is doing the bust. It's gonna be a little tricky, but we get there when we get there. I have all of my pieces cut out, and it's just a matter of assembling it now, which I'm very excited to do. First bit successfully done. The alternative option was what I did here. This is gonna be so sleek, so smooth. So I'm gonna continue that on. To make sure I'm sewing on a straight line, I just have this covering it, and so I can't really see what's underneath, and I can't make sure I'm sewing on a straight line. So I'm gonna mark with chalk where I want my seam line to be, and then I'll lay this over because I don't need it anymore. I'm gonna line this up and also mark where my stripes are gonna end up. And that's just very helpful because then if I start over here, it makes sure that I'm gonna make sure that this edge is still straight. This corner is still just such a mystery to me as to how I'm gonna put it together. Combine these first and then do this as a final piece before I can do that. This is seam allowance and this is seam allowance that needs to be cut down. But I need to be ready to do fray check on the ends of these. This looks so good. I am beyond thrilled with how it's turning out. I'm so happy about it. That was like really scary to do because all I did was mark my line and just kind of hold them together as I went. But because my machine doesn't stretch them as I go, just like lined up so perfectly, like my heart is racing. I'm so excited about this. Holy wow. I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy. Oh my gosh, I could cry actually. Insanely cool. I'm so proud of it. I'm gonna try on the shorts. I haven't, oh my gosh. I'm so happy with it. I could cry. I need to try on the shorts with it because I need to decide. I haven't cut off any length and I haven't put the zipper in. So I need to decide lengths and then I can put the zipper in and it's donezo. Wow. Okay, I have the shorts on and my thought is that they need to be smaller. It's like very sporty, but I want it to be like high fashion sporty. You know what I mean? So I think that needs to happen. Maybe just a hair here. They need to be like micro, mini for it to be the look that I'm going for. And I know that it's not a lot of coverage and there's gonna be some old ladies who hate me for this, but it's a music festival, you know? I think that this is what I need to do. I think seam allowance off the bottom and then I think 3/4 of an inch off the top to make it the micro that I need and then add the zipper. Easy breezy. They look so good. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Finished set. Can't wait to get a spray tan and I'm like so happy with it. I'm so happy with it. Okay. I actually like that. Point is, I love it. Can't wait to wear it.